Will Minecraft Live be significant? Yes, it's happening exactly 1 week from now, and despite an uninformative trailer, we did get a description which told us it's going to feature never seen before Minecraft drops, and indeed, the developers will be going deeper into the future of the game. This is incredible by itself, but they've also accidentally revealed when a next big update will be coming out, and interestingly enough, they've also shared that there will be a brand new cape. If you haven't heard about these things, then you might be surprised to learn there are some small hints of an end update, and of hardcore, and of the weird WhatsApp promotion Minecraft seem to be doing. Well, let's explain that today, because hello, I'm Abyax Toycat, and welcome to the final Q&A Saturday before Minecraft Live next week, and honestly, I am excited for it. Even though the trailer didn't give us any real information, we did get quite a bit from the description and their official announcement, and it means that we're not just going to be learning about the next game drop, as we already expect, but also the one after that. It has confirmed we'll be unveiling never-before-seen game drops, and given that we've already seen the bundle update, it's in previews and snapshots, I've literally shown it on this channel, you couldn't describe that as never-before-seen, and so we'll likely be seeing an update after that. When will that update be coming out? What features will be inside? That's what we'll be learning at Minecraft Live. But just for a hint about how far ahead Minecraft have already planned, there was a brand new Bedrock update this week, and in it they dropped the only official Minecraft VR, which this person describes as a massive L. I totally agree, Sir Slimbed, but they actually didn't cancel it immediately. They said that in March of 2025 it will no longer be supported. And keep in mind that it's not randomly not going to work one day, they're going to have to roll out an update specifically to stop it, and that tells us something very interesting, which is that Minecraft therefore has an update planned for March 2025. It might just be a smaller game drop, like the equivalent of the bundles or the equivalent of this week's one, but that makes me think that March 2025 is significant in that there's going to be some piece of content that isn't necessarily going to work great with VR. I think therefore that we're going to be learning about 1.22, and it's going to be slightly smaller than in previous years, because instead of working on it for a full year, they're going to be working on it until March of 2025. That is the most likely explanation, but what I would like to believe, if you want to hear just a little bit of the hope zone for a second, is the fact that we know 1.20, 1.40 is coming out sometime in late October or early November. That is going to include the bundles, which are now dieable, and all of the other fun things. However, what if they're working on another game drop before the end of the year? Perhaps the biggest downside of the one update a year system Mojang has had for the last half a decade is that it means they can't release a holiday update, and Christmas is one of the best times to have people play Minecraft, especially if you want them playing multiplayer, so it does seem as though another drop in between now and that March one would make a lot of sense too, right? A 1.20, 1.40, a 1.20, 1.50, and then maybe straight into a 1.22. It really does seem like we're going to be learning about at least 2 updates at Minecraft Live, but what if it's actually 3 updates? What if they've got a whole roadmap planned? Because one of the big problems Mojang does have is they only really ever tell us about the plan for the next update they're explicitly working on. What if we got for the first time a guide about not just the next update, but the vague plans for the ones after that? Would that be too confusing, or would that be a perfect way for the community to actually understand where the game is going and maybe get a hint at some bigger update themes? And before we come around to this Enderman thing, I want to come and talk about the fact that hardcore mode is actually a really good fit for the idea of that March 2025 update, because what is something that seems incompatible with VR? What is something that Minecraft Bedrock is definitely going to add, but doesn't know exactly when? I think that a clear answer is hardcore, and so maybe Mojang now has some official plans, because something interesting has also changed. If you search hardcore in your own content that you own from the marketplace, if you see something like Hardcore Island or Ultra Hardcore Difficulty, as you can see right here, they've had their names deleted. This makes me wonder if maybe hardcore maps and hardcore content aren't allowed to call themselves hardcore anymore, maybe in preparation for actual hardcore coming to the game. It used to be something you had to pay for on the marketplace, but now that marketplace content is going to be outdated, is the way I would best see that, but maybe that's entirely wrong. All I know for sure is that there's a few YouTubers who all have a claim to saying, I was the first person to survive 100 days in hardcore Bedrock because they played it in the preview. There's actually not entirely sure as to who did it first, but I feel like there's a fun thing of like, well, in the same way that achievements don't work in the preview, you can't play hardcore in the preview and call it real hardcore, so as soon as hardcore comes out for regular Minecraft, just for fun, I want to be the first person to do it there, or at least muddy the waters by saying I maybe was the first. So guess what? The moment it's out, we'll work out the exact hour, the exact minute, and I'll start streaming for, what will that be, like 17 hours straight, so look forward to something fun coming in the future, internet. Oh, speaking of fun things, Meescrooks says that there's an Enderman vibing in the background, therefore it's an end update, and it's true. If you look at the Minecraft Live trailer, there's an Enderman, but even though lots of people are saying something like this, let's be realistic with our expectations. The community does really want an end update, but if you look at the Enderman as proof, the Enderman is actually the only mob that comes from, 3 separate dimensions. He spawns in all 3 of them, and therefore, if you're going to use this as a hint, actually it's proof that Mojang is updating the End, the Never, and the Overworld. Wow, it's going to be the craziest update. I'm excited for 1.22. I think more seriously, Mojang does know we all want an End update, but this is nowhere near a hint for it, and although I would love to see an End update come, and I think the new drop system is a great way to do it, because as much as we'd all want a full year to be dedicated to an End update to really flesh it out, ultimately most people, like 90%, never go to the End, and even fewer of those people who do go to the End actually make it to the End Islands. And so if they were going to update the End Islands and give it life and all that stuff, I think it makes much more sense as a smaller drop rather than a bigger drop, which is one of the benefits of the new format. But speaking of new format, Minecraft Live is doing new things this year, as I've already discussed, and one of the comments that really changed my mind on the idea of the mob vote having a replacement was this one from Don't Give Two Whiffs. I don't know how to say your name, honestly, but they say that mob vote's purpose was to get people to tune into Minecraft Live with no big annual show. It's biannual now. They chose to drop the vote. I doubt the petition had much to do with it. It's a shame that the community will likely no longer have a way to directly impact Minecraft development. Leaving an idea in the Mojang suggestion box just isn't quite the same thing. This is a comment I really agree with. I actually think that even though there was a huge petition to cancel the mob vote, they did have plans to just keep going on until they decided to split Minecraft Live in two, which was probably something they did because they're doing more frequent drops. And it makes sense because you could either have one of the two Minecraft Lives have the mob vote, or you could do 2 mob votes a year, but that would cause all sorts of problems that they just decided to get rid of, and the fact that it's unpopular was probably just a nice coincidence. But yeah, I do agree, it'd be great if they could work out some way to have more direct democracy than just a feedback subreddit or a feedback site. That could even be, okay, give us one idea for a mob, say it's the crab, and say, do you want it to be that it drops an item that gives you longer reach, or it drops an item that you brew to give it longer reach? You could make it really, really minor decisions, but it could still have that fun of a vote, and I think that maybe in a few years they can revisit it. Just like how when Minecon went away, it took a few years for them to come up with Minecraft Festival, and although that itself had some issues, 2020 was not a good idea to launch that event. You can also say that Minecraft Experience is sort of taking over for it. In fact, it's really taking over in the sense of the capes. One of the things people loved about physical Minecons was getting one of these capes, and so Minecraft Experience is happening just after Minecraft Live, and it's going to give you this cape. It was just announced by the event organizers. It almost makes me suspicious, like, were they not getting enough sales and really needed to up the game, or was this planned all along? Because they're announcing this very, very late, literally just 4 weeks before it goes live. But yeah, you'll be able to get a special half zombie, half villager cape that you can use to customize your character for Minecraft Bedrock exclusively. I think this will be our first Bedrock cape that actually stays a Bedrock exclusive, because every other one they just bow under the pressure from Java and make it over there too. But yeah, is there going to be a exclusive Bedrock cape? It looks like it so far. And is this going to be a Minecraft Live or Minecon replacement? Well, sadly, no. I think the real way that this is the same is that we have effectively another pay-to-win Minecraft cape, where you have to pay, Minecon cost over $100 to go to, and so that cape shows that you had over $100 in 2015, which is like $150 in 2024 money. And so similarly, if you have $32 today, you can get your hands on a cape. Now, interestingly enough, the message here implies that you will have to go in person. It says, after completing your adventure, guests will receive a unique code via email. However, I am, I live very far away from Dallas. I can't just go there on such short notice. And so I bought myself a ticket just to find out if you could maybe get the cape without going. If so, it's a $38 cape, and I'm bummed out that I can't physically do it, but picking Dallas was a little insensitive to your British friends, don't you think, Mojang? You guys live in Sweden. Do you know how far away that is? Anyway, I actually did check my schedule, and I'm in Canada at that point, so it's only a 4-hour flight each way. Wow, yeah, that sounds like a very reasonable thing to do. But, if it's the only way to get this cosmetic in Minecraft that doesn't matter to anyone else, well, I might have to make some bad decisions. Speaking of things that don't matter, Simon Willover thinks that 1.20, 1.40 doesn't really matter because it just has bundles or hardcore mode. Well, first of all, obviously, we're learning about what is most likely 1.20, 1.50 or 1.22, and that's probably the drop you care more about. But 1.20, 1.40 is still going to be an exciting one. First of all, it has the brand new bundles, which are now dyeable. That's kind of exciting. But also, it has the huge creative inventory overhaul, which is nice for Bedrock. But also, it has this new jigsaw interface, and then also like 100 bug fixes. I think this is how minor updates tend to be. One cool new feature to focus your eyes on, and then lots of cool rearrangements that make Minecraft better. But yeah, I think if you want something bigger, you're probably waiting until the end of the year or until March, and and we're going to be seeing it at Minecraft Live. It's next week, by the way. I'm doing a watch party live on this channel. It is one of the most exciting times of the year, and the fact that it snuck up on us is kind of crazy. But you know what else snuck up on us? Minecraft doing this weird promo for their own WhatsApp. If you follow their Twitter or their socials, they're like, yeah, follow us on WhatsApp, and if you use WhatsApp, as I know a lot of Americans don't, but the rest of the world does, WhatsApp is basically a texting app. It's like iMessage, I guess, but you can use it on real phones too, internationally for free, and so you can use WhatsApp to message each other, and so Minecraft saying they're going to be there is like saying, oh yeah, send us a text and connect with us over there, or indeed, send us a letter and we'll send you one back. It's a really weird thing for a social media profile to do, and so, you know, I had to find out for sure what's going on with the WhatsApp, and so I joined the Minecraft WhatsApp, and it turns out it's like a group that only they can post to, where they tell you about all of the things that they're up to. It makes me feel really uncomfortable. Like this message here, "Psst, can I let you in on a little secret?" It's like, of course I can. This is a safe space and we're all friends. It's like, no, don't encourage us to think we're in a parasocial relationship with you, Minecraft. That's not how this works. I'm not friends with you. You are just a person running a social media account for one of the world's largest companies. This is very, very, very strange. But you know what else is very, very, very strange? I mean, I'd have to say the number of comments I've been getting on my Ultimate Guide videos being like, bro, you don't know the beacon came out 12 years ago? And it is a bit of a shame because I do cover Minecraft news. It's one of the most exciting things about the game to me. But also, you have to admit, with a game that's 15 years old now, there are so many old mechanics that you'll forget about, or even if you just started playing after they came out, you might not have ever learned about. And so on my Ultimate Guide, I get comments like that, but I also get comments like this one I prefer to highlight from DSTRN, saying, I always appreciate your teaching videos, Andrew. They're using my all trims seed from a couple of years ago, and they really think that there are some beautiful areas, and that's 100% true. That's one of my favorite seeds, even just to use casually. It's fun that so many people have used it. But yeah, I'm glad you like the Ultimate Guide too. I think a lot of people really do enjoy it once they get past the idea that, like, why do I need to learn about an 11-year-old feature? But I'd also have to admit that, okay, if enough people are commenting this, it might be a valid concern. So I'd like to ask you here, I'd like to do a reverse Q&A. I'd like to ask you a question if you're watching this video. How do you think I should better convince people who already know about a feature, but maybe don't know everything, to watch the Ultimate Guide? Because it is one of those videos that the people who watch it really like it, and even after the fact, it gains a bunch of subscribers and stuff, but initially, a lot of people are just so cautious about clicking. It has one of the worst click-through rates initially, but it goes up way later after the fact. How do you think we could better work with that? And maybe that's too much inside YouTube for you. If that's the case, maybe we should instead go back to this final question here, which is actually about Reforge, because someone commented on my gameplay video that I have a sneaking suspicion Microsoft are going to be rather unhappy about this. And fun fact, Microsoft and 4J are friends. In fact, 4J actually showed Microsoft one of the very earliest versions of the game, because they are making it for Microsoft consoles, as well as Sony ones and Nintendo, but they're actually pitching it to each of those three companies, just in case, you know, maybe they want an exclusive, maybe they want to have something fun there, but yeah, they actually have a great working relationship, because Microsoft doesn't own the idea of a block placing game. Even though 4J Studios worked on it, they're not using the same engine, they built a new, better one. It's one of those fun things, in my opinion. But to round out this video, I want to say that I am very excited about Minecraft Live. It is one of those cool events of the year, and usually you spend like a month getting ready for it and, preparing for it. And so knowing that it's going to be a shorter time is really cool. But also, I think there's a little bit of like dampening of my own expectations I'm going to have of like, okay, it's probably going to be an hour or less, but within that hour, we're going to learn about some new features, and we're going to get to see that very old school Minecon feeling, event where they're going to be like, yeah, let's just play through this content and see what's actually going on there. That sounds so cool. That sounds like the best part of Minecraft Lives they've been doing for the last 6 years, without all of the bad bits where they're like, oh, here's a fun initiative and here's a weird Mattel thing we're doing. And I think that the only casualty that I can imagine is we probably won't learn about Minecraft's new game next week, but fingers crossed anyway. Speaking of fingers crossed, if you had your fingers in a salmon right now, you would be able to enjoy one of the last few times in Minecraft history, now until about October, where Big Salmon is a Bedrock exclusive. But if you go to makeshift.com, and link down below, for just $29.99, you can get your hands on this limited time exclusive Big Salmon plush. It has all sorts of fun details about the channel that you'll recognize, and yeah, these will be made precisely once in a single batch. They're all made to order, and then never again. So if you want to get your hands on this limited piece of channel history, you can do that by going to the link down below. Or you can not, I guess. It's your decision. I'm gonna put the flag back in there. Look at him, he's such a patriotic cat. Speaking of patriotic cats, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.